We arrived in Prague at the Charles River, or actually the Charles Bridge Hotel. It's right on the Charles Bridge, which is kind of where the center of most of the action in Prague is. The alcove for the bed was a bit tight, but look at that headboard, and the rest of the room was quite large. This was the view from our hotel room, and it's basically a view of the Volta River. And I would get up in the mornings and open the blinds, and that would be my view. And it was a wonderful way, really, to start the day. And really it started off on the right foot. For dinner, we would highly recommend Stoletti restaurant. We actually ate there twice. The second time was because my wife had left her phone there the prior night, and we needed to go back and pick it up. And when we got there, they had actually charged the phone for us. We had another wonderful dinner and great people. Here we are on our way to Center City to see the Glockenspiel, which you can see the towers in the distance. Here is a close-up of the Glockenspiel, which is basically the clock. And out of those little doors, there's a whole scene that takes place a couple times a day. As you can see, the crowds gather in the main square to see the Glockenspiel, and just before it starts to ring or go off, you really have to push your way through the crowd. This sculpture, surrounded by flowers, was kind of in the center of the square. Again, Prague is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is one of the side streets just off the square. Again, building's very attractive, and it's just a beautiful place. There are many restaurants throughout all of Prague, and so you won't go hungry, and the food is great. A trip to Prague would not be complete without a ride on the Volta River, which is the longest river in the Czech Republic. There were great views along the river as we sailed, and we were coming up onto the Charles Bridge, which basically gets you from the old town to the new town. Here is the Charles Bridge. This is one of 3 bridges that cross the river. But like I say, this one gets the most traffic as it connects the 2 sides of the town. The other side of the town, the new side, is nice, but I like the old town. And here we're looking back actually at our hotel. So that view that you saw earlier as looking out of the hotel, now we're looking back at it. Here is the best I could do on an aerial view of Prague, but you can see how expansive it is. Just to give you a little tip too, I was warned never to take a cab in Prague. And I did, unfortunately. It was so convenient. It came out, it was there, we jumped in, and I did get ripped off. I would suggest that you use Uber. Never use a cab in Prague. This is the entrance to the castle. And here's some of the grounds. Also, within the castle confines was basically a church as well. We did get inside to the church. Like all churches in Europe, it was very beautiful. But the stained glass windows were spectacular, and you can see them there. And now we're off to Krakow.